So I'll give you so we'll take up more classes on SharePoint Designer, because the SharePoint Designer is again an office component which is used to actually design your page without .NET. So if you have, you can actually design your page, but basically before, we had something called SharePoint Designer, right? It used to force people to learn .NET. I'm talking about the complete designing, like different images and different links and all. But using SharePoint Designer, you can actually code. You can also code in SharePoint Designer, and in the same way, you can actually design your page, right? And actually, you can create all the data sources, right? All the sub sites, right? All the pages. You can design everything in SharePoint Designer, right? So yesterday we have seen something like designing InfoPath workflow, right? So we'll just start up with that. So we'll just first see how we can actually create, how actually we can edit a page or create a subsites here, so that once it is done, so when we actually come up to lists and libraries in the designer, right? So then we'll continue with the InfoPath, right? So
Right.
basically, have you guys installed Designer in your machines? So was that okay, or you got any issue with that? Because sometimes
I haven't tried yet.
not an issue. So you can just try, like let us say if this is a page, right? So this is a page under some. I've created a new site because that site was heavily loaded, right? And that site became so slow in my machine. So I just created one website called info it call, where I have some designer site here, which is again a blank site, right? So I'll show you something, so which can be done through SharePoint Designer, right? You'll be using SharePoint Designer mostly, and that can be any of it can be a 34-bit or 32-bit or 64-bit, doesn't matter at all. But only thing is, whenever you are working in SharePoint, right, as a developer or as an administrator, make sure that your office, whatever you are installing, is compatible with your SharePoint, right? Never go for 2003. In some companies, even now they are using 2003. 2003 is completely not compatible with SharePoint. First point, right? So so a SharePoint Designer have got more powerful from 2007. Even in Office 2007 you have SharePoint Designer, but 2010 Designer is much better, right? So from,
Right.
yeah, from anywhere, actually from the site, you can actually download and install your designer. So here, if you want to actually make the site changes in designer, right, again you have to go to site actions. Again here there is something called edit in SharePoint designer, right? If you don't have designer, right, it will again ask you to download, not to worry, right? So let me click on this. So there are if you actually install the complete package of your office, right, so you'll be getting all these things like Visio or your Excel components, Word, designers and all, right? So let me just log in. I hope yesterday I've just given a brief introduction to SharePoint Designer, where, right? Now here,
Did you share the video yesterday?
yeah, Truti, I've shared the video, yesterday's one. Yeah, I've shared it.
Okay, I couldn't see in the Dropbox, that's why.
Is that okay? Let me check. I already shared. You can just make, maybe you can just refresh your Dropbox, or I'll refresh so that
Okay.
it will. So now,
Yeah, sure, no problem.
yeah, okay, okay. So this SharePoint instance, or this SharePoint Designer instance, is nothing but an instance of this. You can see here at the top you have something called your URL, right, which is URL of this, URL of this. Now whatever we are doing and whatever options we are seeing and whatever editing you do here, right, will be directly affecting your site here, right? And again, it all depends on so it can be done by anyone. So as of now I'm just doing something with admin, right? You can also give permission to someone to design his own page. Now whenever I'm talking about designing, right, I'm talking about actual placing of your names and different things in your page. Now here we have different components here, where actually we have just seen some glance yesterday, right? Let me give you some main overview of the SharePoint. See, before actually going into the designer, right, make sure, go to help and make sure you're using the same office whatever you have, right? Again, yesterday I was talking about something called designer download, right? So once you download it, right, make sure you're running the same office runtime bit machine, which is 32 bit, because my office installed in here is 32 bit, right? So and after that continue, because sometimes your 64 bit may also run on, sometimes on 60 on 32 bit, which is higher level. But in long run, if you are going to work with the same designer in some at some place, it may give incompatible issues actually. So for that, make sure whatever office version you have, make sure you have the same thing, right? Now, so here, so this part, this is a main part first. So this part is something where it, so it's, so this part is navigation part or site objects part, where it will give you what exactly you can do using your SharePoint designer. It says you can actually create a list and libraries, right? So if there are any default list and libraries, it will be displayed over here. You can actually play with them, you can actually edit something, you can actually create a views on them. Whatever we have done in our SharePoint, everything can be done using your designer here, right? So before moving into each and every component, right, so these are few things which is site objects, and this is nothing but a summary site. This complete thing is nothing but summary site. You can see here the permissions, right? So whatever permissions you have for this site itself, site permissions, right? So all the permission levels, all the permission groups, all the permission inherited permission will be actually shown here. If you click on this, you can see what is the actual permission level it is, right? Now, so here you have something called some options, right? So here in your page you have something called stop inheriting, which means if you click on stop inheriting, what is this option? This option is nothing but, so what we have made our site is, so our site is info IT collection, where I have made one site called designer IT. So in designer IT, all the permissions are info IT call. So where you can, if you want to detach, you can do that. The same option you can find it here. Yeah, you can find it stop inheriting, which will actually detach from its parent site. So this is a summary site where we can see the title, what is the title, and what is a folder here. This folder is this is nothing but directory folder, which is on IIS, right? And you can see edit site homepage. You can actually edit your homepage. Let me click on this. When you click on edit homepage, right, your complete homepage. So this is your homepage, which is design site. So where you do, anyways, you don't have anything here, but you can see the same page being loaded. It will download the whole thing and it will load it here. So let me just show you that first. Yeah, you can see here your complete site came in a coding manner. You can actually do whatever. Let me just say I'm written hello. Just say this is your default page. Right? I'm just writing it here. And actually what I am doing, whatever I am doing is being provided by your designer directly. Actually, if you want to see the code, you can actually have a split of it. See, so whatever we have done, this is a complete HTML thing, right? If you use something called .NET, right, so you'll be getting all these things like content placeholders and all. So but what I have done is I have just written in div is nothing but a placeholder where you can write something. So I am writing something, hello. See, it will actually do everything for you. Now if you use .NET, you have to do everything here, which means anyways even your .NET designer will help you in this, right? From designer, let's say. And what happens if you, once you save this up, right? So by saving itself, what it does is it will completely change the look of your page itself, right? So it just says processing your file. You can actually stop it now. It is anyways your SharePoint designer, once you actually open with your link, right, it is auto it will be auto corrected. So whatever changes you do you do here, right, will be directly affecting your page, right? It will directly affect your page where you have done nothing here. So for this again, anyways, you have to do something called edit page, right? You can do the same thing in here, and yeah, you can actually do something the same thing we are doing from here. But what is the use, what is the main difference, why do we need to use designer is something. Using your edit action, right, you can't actually make something change in this. You can actually make some changes only to the page, that's it. Now, what is this part and what is this part? So this part is nothing but your child page, and this part is nothing but your master page. Always there will be two type of not two, there can be more, but basically your website will be divided always into two different parts, which is either a master page, and that master page will be inherited to the child pages, right? So the base guy who actually take care of all these things are nothing but a master page. Now here if I click on home, right, you can see here this ribbon and some things will be same, right, actions are all. If I click on this, so this is nothing but your master page and your image and all. You can actually change all these things from your site designer. So let us do that first. So let me just so we are here in designing something, and if you know some coding you can also do this. You can just say, you can just say some a ref, right, and just say href some google.com, right. I'll just give some coding here if you have, and just say your href, right. You just give href and let me just say target. Okay. So I just gave one link here which is ahref, and just say click to go. Okay. So I just edited something here which actually will create some link for you, which is ahref here. Okay. So let me just give you some break here and some break here. Okay. So now let me just save it up. So it will get saved to your page, right. Let me go back to this and let me refresh. Now you can see click here to go. So when I click on this, you can see that it will go to, anyways, it will go to something called google.com, but you have to do direct http google.com, right. But you can see here it is trying to go to this page. Now let us say you want to go to from home, you want to go to default, right. Click here to go and just say something like right. Let me just create a site again, which is go back info IT collection, site actions, new site. Right. Let me just take it as a team site. Just say sample site. Right. So what we are trying to do is, so let me just give something called ahref. So whenever you call ahref, right, it will ask you to pick URL. So let me just click on that. So you can see what are the different pages you have. So right. So as of now, so yeah, we have created one site which is sample site. Let us say, right. And let's go back here, info IT collection, and we have designer site here. So where there is a sample site. Right? Let me just refresh this site once, and just say pick URL, right. We have let us say images. We don't have any image here. Designer site, go back. Maybe I can take something, so we can see all the things whatever we have here, which is 24502. Let me just take it as right, this one. Okay. So I want to go to home, which is, let me save this. Yeah. So now it is publishing, and publishing is go back to the page, just refresh this and click here to go, right. It will take you to the site, right. So you can do any action whatever you want from here. Now you can see that we have just written a sample code here. You can do that, or you can, if you want to directly add a link, you can also do that, right, not a problem. And for this link, you can see when I click on this, right, when I click on this A, right, you can see here directly, right? You can see all the properties. So this part of window is called as a properties window for each. So when I select this, you can have to see href. If you want to select, click on this, you can see all the pages being displayed here, right? You can select any of them, right? So in that way it will actually move on to that page, right? Let me just save. And now, so before this, let us see something which is different parts here. So as I said, this is something which is summary part, this window, and this window is basically used to edit something, change something and all, right? And to see, so in different things, site pages and all. So what are the different things already we have got, right? On in master pages, what is the master page we have, right? So these for corresponding objects we'll have this, and this ribbon is again mainly for designing your different components again here. So based on your component you are selecting, automatically it will change. If you are going to master page, it will go to the master page contents, right, where you can actually do something of on master page. And if you go to lists, you can see, you can get all the type of list whatever you have in SharePoint. You have all your list. Again, document library, you can see document library all. So whatever you'll be able to see in SharePoint, you can see everything in here, right? It will be completely synced up, right? So that is nothing but a ribbon. And so here you have something called refresh button. Refresh is something, refresh, what it does is it will completely refresh from site to this designer and designer to your site, right? So that is what it happens. Now in here, if you want to see, if you want to just see, I mean, what are the sites already be registered, you can get everything in here, and the pages which we were using recently, right? So this is what is a basic different structures we have in SharePoint, and these are nothing but a quick links. Actually these are nothing but quick links, so whatever you want you can add over here, right? So basically we don't need publish option, because once you save and refresh, automatically your designer will be automatically tagged to your SharePoint site. Now, so before moving to anything, right, let's first see what is a master page first. So now master page is something which is common for all your pages. So still this class, so whatever we have seen until to change only these part of things. If you remember, we added something to this part, we added a web part to this part, right? All whatever we have done is this. Now we'll touch upon something on these parts also, like what actually we can do, or what actually we can do in this side. So that is nothing but your master page. This is master page, and inside you have something called child pages. Now, so before going to master page, let me just show you that. Okay, site pages, designer site, edits, home page. Yeah, when I go to this home page, right, you can see here, let me just go to design. You can see here I can only do something in this content, that's it. I cannot do anything here. Why I cannot do anything here? Because this is something which is a master page, right? And in child class and in child pages you will never be able to edit something called master. Now how can we edit this? Is you have to go to master pages. Now you can see one master page called v4.master. So this is the default master, and this is the, let me click on this, and let me click on edit file. You can see, so this is a page. Okay, it is loading anyways, right? This is a page where actually your complete things are being loaded. Now let us say you want to create your own master page. So how to do that? Let me close it up, go to master pages. So now let me just take the same master page, copy and paste one more here. Just go to master pages and right click and paste. Yeah, so now here this is a master page. Now let me just rename this, right click and rename the page. Let me just say, so your master page should always have an extension called dot master. This is very important again, right? So let me just say this is my main dot master, right? Now this is our master page. Now whatever you want to do it in here. Click on this, right? So now you have selected something called my main master. Click on this, right? You can see my main master here and edit file. When you actually edit file, again it will take you to the same component. Now you can see here, right? Yeah, this is a default thing you have got again, where you can see here you have something called home, right, and all. This is a menu link, and here you have something called your placeholder, different placeholders, and So let me just do some small change and see what happens. So let me just select this one and do some editing here, right? I've just done something like a right align, and let me just change font to something else. Adobe Arabic maybe, yeah. So and let me just say okay, yeah. So that's the first part, and here okay, you can see here it's an image, right? But always it, I'm just minimizing it. You can anytime you want you can maximize. Just minimize this, right? And let me just make this slow. Now here, so what I want to do is I don't want this image, because this image is something which is a normal one, right? So if you want to change this image, you can do that. So how to do that is, there are two ways, right? Select this, right click, you can have something called properties. You can go in that way, properties, or whenever you select this, you have something called direct tag properties. So even here you have something called your tag property, right? You can also change it from here, or you can also do it some click on split, and you can see, so this is a part of this. So this is your logo, what has been happening. So let us say I don't want this logo, right? I want my own logo. Let's delete this up, and let us say I want my image img, right? And I'll just say alt of something, and just say I want my source as pick URL. We'll just pick some image mm, from here. If there is an image, okay, there is no image, okay. Let's go back to something called, let me go back to picture here, right? And show pictures, some picture. Let me just pick a picture here, right? And so here, let me just give some height to be some 30 pixels, right? Let me say this, yeah. When I save here, you can directly see that okay, so it is asking to save this in the assets. Yes, I want to do that. Click on OK. Yeah. So now, so let us say I want to give some meaningful site 50 px. You can directly see that, yeah, the picture is being added here. Let me just save it here, and let me go back to site and see, refresh. So is it being saved? Okay, okay, see, yeah, it is being saved. By why it is not being loaded here? The main reason is, even now v4.master is a default master page. So if you want to make whatever you are making as a default, right, just select, right click, and just say set as a default master page. Click on that, and do refresh, right, and just say save. Now let us go back and see. Click on this. Now you can see image here, right? Which is obviously, if you are in a corporate, right, you will never see your SharePoint site as simple as this. So you will be designing your site in much better way. Now let me just go and tweak this to some more extent. Let me just say this is TD, right? I want this to, you can have all the properties. So this is nothing but your table, right? Or you can just select this. This is your TD. You have your properties here, right? Let us say you want to select something called style. Style is nothing but, you can set your background colors and all. Let me just say background color, I want it as dark this. Say okay. In the same way, I want this to be, or this complete container of div, right, or TD itself to be again some style, and just make it as background as a dark blue again, right, so that I can see. And this part, I just selected this part of my name here, and again I went to forecolor. Let us say I want to make it white, right? Save it up, refresh, save it, save this, right? So now what happens, you can see each and everything will get directly edited here. Now go back here and just refresh. Yeah, you can see your page being modified here. You can see there is something missing here again, right? You can just have, you can just see here, which is you can see here there is one more TD here, which is some other thing which is missing here is blank page, right? You can make the whole table. And let's get back here. Yeah, you just say style and just say color again, background color to something which is dark blue. And okay, save this. Oops, save this. Now it is directly published. So like you can see some few things here, which is if you on hover, whatever you want to do you can do it here, right? So we have changed something called something on of your header here. So you can also do in the same way, you can do something for menu. You can see here this is something which is your menu here. Let me click on this, which is your menu part again, right? So let us say I want the back color to be again something dark, right? Has it been applied here? Save this up, save and see what is happening here. Okay, only one got this, right? And let's get back and let us say I want it to be right aligned. So initially it is left aligned, right? I want everything to be right aligned here. And save this. Once it is saved, refresh, save it up, and just go back and save this again. Yeah, we'll see everything being right. So in this way, everything will be, so you can change each and every part here. And if you want to make some more default pages, right, so you can keep any number of default pages. Let me just copy this site, right click, copy, go to master pages. Let me just say I'm sorry, right click, copy, right click, paste here, and let me just say my main, right click and rename. Let me just say my main underscore my main one, let us say, right, rename here and just say my main one here, and let's set this up. And if you edit, so the same will be here, but what I want to do is, oops, yeah, what I want to do is whenever I get this table, right, I get this table which is my table here, I want my style of this table to be something else. Let me take some border or this color or something, something else. So basically, so this TD here, which is my TD class here, background color, let me change it to brown. Right, in the same way, I want this background to be something called brown again here, right? And I want to change the picture again. You can just change the picture from source, and let us say pictures again. Let me just take up some other picture, okay, of the same design maybe, yeah? And just say save. Now okay, I want it to be added, yes, okay. Now so you have how many pages? You have two. You have created your own master pages, which are, there are two master pages, right? So you can use them. So if you want to use, so as of now main one is a default, right? Right click and set, okay, it is already default, right? So now go back to this and just say refresh this. You can see the same set. Now let us say I want to make this default, right click and set as a default master page, refresh it up, right, and see here, right? So whatever, so it all depends on like what exactly you want to do, right? So it is all, let us say you want to provide some quick links here, right? You want to provide some quick links here that it should be doing something. So select your, because your master page is something which is so if you have a team, right, if you have a team who are designing different sites or different pages, your master header will be same for your collection site, right? So let us say you just want to show something in here. Let us say I have my main one, edit my file, right? So let us say in here, in this placeholder, right, in this placeholder, let us say yeah, in this, let us take this way, where, let me just create one more TD here, which is at cell here. I want to do some thing like marquee, let us say, right? Just to do marquee here, but actually this is not compatible here anyways to this. Come on, come on, come on. Again, your SharePoint designer completely works on .NET, right? Anyways, whatever I'm doing here, you can do directly in your designer. We have just selected this some part, right? And we have seen something of changing, right? I don't want this. So marquee is not permitted, not a problem. So let me just take it out and just say hi people, new batch is going to start. Just give some heads up and just save this up, right? And what we'll do, I'll just say this as separate div here, and I'll cut this up and paste it here instead of giving something else, right? Just cut it and paste it up here, and just say I want this div color to be something else. This div style here, let me just say background to be yellow here, right? And font family to be some UI, yeah, font size to be something large, or just take it out. You don't need anything, right? So we just want to show something. Anyways, this design may be a bad design, but anyways we can do something now. So when it goes right, you can see people new batch is going to start. Go to any site, right? Because anyway, so go to info IT and designer site. So in this designer site, right, we don't have any other pages. So let me create some new site again here inside this. Let us see. Let me just create team site, inner some, just keep it as simple as that. More options, just say yes, create. Yeah, so okay, it got created on info IT designer side, inner. Okay, inner again is okay, it is handling some other master page images. So if you have different pages here, right, you can actually create some page, right? If you create a new page, more options, and let me create a page here, page, a normal page, and just say some page IT, options, say create, right? So this is space something, this is even close. Yeah, you can see this page is again have got the same look and feel here, right? So let me just edit this page and just say, just do something which is some 24 and red and 7 close. Go back to the site which is designer site. So in designer site you have something called sites. Click on inner pages, oops, page, view all pages. Okay, we have to create designer site page. Okay, what is the page we have created? Designer site pages, page ID, right? Page ID. Let me select this, go to designer site, go to, we'll create a quick launch here, site settings, quick launch. So under sites I want a new navigation link here, which is this one, and just say my page. Okay, let me go back to home designer site, and when I click on, yeah, you can see now, right? So under this side I've created a page which is my page IT, right? And you can see that, yes. So for your site and different pages, my page id, and for all, this is my first page, create any number of pages, your header will be same. So in this way, let us say you are creating a master page and you are giving this to your team who are actually creating different pages, right? But your master page will create a main information for you guys. So whatever it is, right, it will create a main thing for you. So this is what we have something called master pages, and this is what we create. So in the same way, in sometimes if you want to save again, go to master pages, right click on whatever you want, just say set as default, and refresh, I mean just refresh it up and just go, right? It will be reverted back. And even if you go to my page id, it will be same. You can see page id, right? It will be same for your site and both your page, right? And again, if you want to completely revert back everything, just so go to right click, set as default master page, refresh, and just go to this. Yeah, you can get the back, right? Even if you go to my page id, it will be same, right? So these are how we work with master pages, and whatever you can do in a page, right? In a page where if you want different images and all, you can do everything here. And if you love coding, right, this will be more fun actually, where you can do something like designing with some coding, where you can actually use something called tags, and everything whatever is being mentioned here is completely a .NET, nothing else being used, everything. So whenever you say SharePoint ASP menu, right, it is actually a library being provided by SharePoint to .NET, nothing else. You can use everything and everything else from here. So that is nothing but your master page, and how to maintain different master pages, right? How actually basically you have to it's always good to use, to keep multiple master pages actually, right? So that whenever you want, whenever anyone want to pass on some information, right, you can actually change everything from there. You can actually change your page theme from here actually. Let me just click on my main or something called design site. Yeah, you can see here you can actually change your theme from here itself. Your theme will, so whenever you change your theme, right, again, okay, anyways, it will open up here. So if you remember, we have already seen something called themes, right? So anyways, it will just say this and just says apply. Again, what it does is it will change the theme site, and in that theme site, if you make any changes to your master page, corresponding things will be. So let us say I have changed my theme, right? Let me close this and open my page design today. I have changed something. Let me just go back and say in master pages, right click one of my master page and set as default page. So even if you change something called theme, right, let me just click here, you can see your theme is changed, but again this is maintained, right? Even if you go to your page, everything will be same, right? So even if you are going, so this all depends on what color. So anyway, so as so you are as good your thoughts are, your page will become more beautiful, right? Anyways, it doesn't look good maybe here, right? So that's how you can actually create some things in here, right? And actually you can also create, I said you can also create some links or direct images of different things as you see in your normal pages, right? You can do anything you want in this master pages, right? And basically what else you can do is uh, you can also change your font. Yeah, each and everything is again something which is accessible to things, right? Let me just take it as some I just want to do some. Let me take some large site again and just save it up. Yeah, buffer section. Okay, so anyways, it will, maybe it will not change because it's out of scope. Again, you have to see something called compatibility is also one thing which is very important. So whatever design you are doing should be compatible with different browsers. Anyways, whatever you do in SharePoint will be same in your IE, or at least your Chrome and Mozilla. Not to worry, right? It will be same anyways, right? I just Control Y, save this. Okay, map market section. I understand this. It says this font maybe is not compatible with some browsers, right? So that's why it won't take some time, right? That's fine, not a problem. So you can do whatever you can do in here, you can also do in here. But only thing is, master pages should be maintained from your designer. It's always better to maintain from designer, right? So you will have a hold of it. You don't have to give it to anyone else, so that you can maintain your own, right? So this is how we actually create. Uh, we created a new master page as such, right? We created a new master pages and all. If you want to keep everything blank, you can also create one more master page where you will delete everything. No sites, no nothing, no quick launches here, right? And create a page. You can do that, right? And then, so that is your master pages, fine. So now, so under your site, right, you can also create something called site pages. So we have, if you see here, page IT, we have created a page IT here, my page IT, right? So let me, yeah, you can see that my page IT is here, right? So you can actually tweak this again, right? If you want to edit from here, you can do that. Again, each and everything, you can see loading master page is your master, which is this part, and again what it does, it will load your this one, my page, let us say from designer, right? Save it up, yes, yeah. So go back and say, right, page 80, yeah, you can see it here. So everything is again tightly coupled anyways, right? Again you can actually, we have seen something called site pages, right? You can actually duplicate your site pages, right? I'm sorry, where is it? Yeah, so site pages, yeah, you have some option called new page from master. If we click on this, you can see there are so many. So whatever master page you created will be shown here. So what is that? So which is nothing but, so whatever master page you have created, right, I want to create a page using that particular master page only. Now let me just go to file, add item, page from my master page, and let me click on my main.master, right, and click on create, right? You can give your name here. Let me just say page my mstr something, right? And location I want it in site pages. Click on OK. So it will again come to something called your so it is creating a brand new one. Page does not contain any region. Open it also. Yes. Yeah, it will take you to your page here. Now here you can see nothing will be, you know, it will, one second, let me just minimize this. Yeah. So now here you can see here that your master, which is, you can see your master page is tagged, which is main my master, right? And your whole code is here. So something will happen here. So let me just okay, it didn't inherited the complete page. Let me just say system content, my content here. Let me just check whether it is possible. Okay, page, let me just go back here and copy the container here, because I want the container of my placeholder. Placeholder container. Okay, and just say let's say hello. Let's see. So I'm just setting it up. So there is something, strip tag h2 cannot contain div. Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hi Lakshmi, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hi Lakshmi, can you hear me? Hello. Hello. sorry. Oh, can you guys hear me now? Okay, fine. So now we'll just take up the description part here and go back here again, just say content, yeah, and just say this is my content, where I'm
Hello?
just, yeah, hello, yeah. So what I'll do, I'll just take up this and just say some paste it here, right? And what I'll do, I'll just make a style of it, yeah. Styling background or font, let me just say some this color and font size to be some larger, right? We just kept something here. So anyways, we are following the same thing again here, yeah. Save it here and just go back, page IT, designer, right? Go back to page, okay. So where we have saved this, designer, site pages, here, designer, page, what is missing here, site pages here, right, page master, yeah. You can see your site here again, right? And if you want, you can actually create this site page, you can keep it in your this. So how to do that again, you can go back here to site designer, site actions again, right, site settings. I'm just creating a quick launch here, right? And new navigation link, and just say page 2 something, click on OK, right? So go back here, this is your site, page IT is this, and your page 2 is this, right? So these are you can create your pages also, right? You can create internal pages, right? You can create pages directly from your master page, right? And now you can see that this master page, if you notice this site, right, we have created this master page using direct master page. If you go back designer again, it will be changing. Go back to page 2, see, it will take the master page whatever we have selected, because we have added a new page from master and we have selected one master. So even if you change the master for other pages, right, this master page will not change, right? So that thing you have to make sure, right? So that is how we actually create pages, and how we tag. You can tag it to your sites page, where you can see your site to and my page it, right? And internally whatever you can do directly, right? So that is nothing but your master pages and something called site pages, right? So now let's go back to lists and libraries, right? So again here you can see sites in this list and libraries are again the same thing, which is we'll see like creating a list. So whatever we can do there, you can see here custom list is there, SharePoint list, announcements, calendar, everything is same in here. Again document library we have this, or external list. External list is something if you want to actually connect to some database or something else, you can create in here, right? So we are connected to designer site again, which is designer site is this one, right, this one. And let us say, let us create a small site, just say IT lists, just click on OK. You have created one small list, refresh, and just say, yeah, you have created a small list. Just refresh this site and you can see under lists you have something called IT lists, right? A small list. And so whatever we have seen here, like editing something and all, right, you can do from here itself. You have this, you have something called edit columns, right, edit columns. And in these edit columns you can see all the column types whatever we have seen here. If you remember this in list settings, right, if you try to add something which is create column, right, sorry, yeah. So you have seen single line text or all, you can see each and everything here. You can create any column you want. Let us say you want to create a checkbox column, right? Let's say this is something called state, or stay, or something called yeah, status. Let us say status, yeah. And yeah, checkboxes, you want what value you want. Yeah, I want some yes no, let us say, right? And just save this. Come back here, go to lists again. You can see if you add something here, right, it will give whether yes or no, which is checkbox. So where we have done is we have done it from. Again, you can see the column name is new column 1. We don't want that. So if you don't want that, right click and just say rename. Just say status. Yeah, save it up. Go back, refresh this. You can see status. The same thing you can actually add as a task here. So how? Again, if you have list, right, go to our site actions edit page and just say add web part. The same thing again, right? And ID list. So even your web, that will be added as a web part again, and click on add, right? So it will come as a web part here. You can see. Just stop editing, right, and just go back to your I'm sorry, go back to your designer side, right? You can see your web part here. And whenever you add something, again, title, let's say some uh, just say some hello, and just click on this, so it will be added. So from your SharePoint itself, you are just doing some actions on this, right? So these are something which is add existing site column. If you click on this, which is it will browse the existing ones actually. But as we don't have our own things, right, we will not be adding. If you create some more lists, you can add from them, right? So that is what we have seen, something called lists. And in the same way, you can also create a library, any library, right? You can just say doc lib, or let us say one, okay, right? So here basically if you click on this, you can see something called under libraries, you got doclib, right, with the basic things, right? In the same way, if you add some SharePoint list as something, or document library as we have seen something called announcements. Yeah, we'll add some announcements, announce list, right? Click on OK. So you can see here, so it will come to the announce list here. Click on this. So those things will be added again, right? Title and the who has modified. And if you click on announcement, right, it will give you the what exact the same form, title, body, and expires, what to give, and the same, right? So this is how we actually do some actions here, right? And in the lists actually, yeah, so this list is something which is once I close all tabs, let me just go back to list and libraries. Yeah, we have created IT list, right? So IT list, we have few things which is, you can see. So where you can see this, you can see it here, which is, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, 8 list columns. You can see what are the columns you have. Now if you want to actually edit your form, which is, it is IT list here, and so this is your form. Whenever you click on this, right, so this is your basic form. So how can we change it from here? So again, you have something called design form paths and info. When you click on this, right, you can see item. So it will get you the existing design to this, right? You can see here. So this is what is existing design. You can see. Anyways, it won't get the whole colors now. It is just getting your this part, right? What exactly it is, right? And why it is giving attachments is because here you have an attachment apart from this, right? So that's why it is just giving your attachment. And if you want to add something, you can just say right click and the same thing, rows below, and just say extra row something, right? And here just say text box. We have added some text box here. Just say save. Okay, save it as a template, some template, and just publish. Okay. So what it does is it will go to that form template and it will override that. The form is published successfully. Close this up, go back, click here, cancel this, edit list, and click on add item. so library, whatever library is being added, so it has to refresh that library. So design a site again. So in here item lists, add item. Yeah, you can see extra row, right? So this is, we have added this content from your info path. Yeah. So in this way you can actually communicate between your SharePoint designer, and you can see here your SharePoint designer is completely integrated with your info path. Again, you can do something in info path, publish from info path, and that will be reflected over here, right? So that is how we actually create. So from InfoPath, basically designing, I mean InfoPath is used to design a form. So what is a form? Form is nothing but your this form. This is a form. And what is designer all used for? Here, if you take a sample of list, you are creating an actual data source here, which is a list here, where you are actually creating some columns and all, right? And for adding that, you are just styling your thing with your this one, right? So that is what. So again, you can use all your default things whatever we used to do in here, which is you know admin. If you remember, so let it load for the time. Yeah, then yeah, so yeah, so which, so what I was intended to do is, so the title is here, right? You can actually set the title properties here, which is, if you want to set some value, if you remember this, we have seen this, right? Let us say insert function, I want to add the user, and right, or I want to concat the username, comma, let us say I want to concat my date time, which is now, right? And check my formula, okay and okay. So by default I want to get my username with my current date, save it up and publish. Okay, template, override and publish. So here is a publish, right? Because we are already opening from our site, right? Publish and close it up. Go back to your site, close this up, refresh your site. Right? And click on add item. List. Yeah, you can see here, right? You can see admin, because we are logged in with someone called admin, and you can see the time we appended some time called now, which is today is 7th and the time now. In the same way, right? It will append by defaultly. It will append this, right? So that is what we can do from InfoPath. InfoPath is something which is used to design your form, right? So that's how we use something called list and libraries, right? Oh, okay, it's already time it seems. Okay, so let's wind up here till now. Okay, and let us see more things what actually your SharePoint designer can do tomorrow. Fine. Any doubts still here? Mohammed, Trupti, Lakshmi?
Yeah, I saw the video for yesterday actually in the Dropbox, so I think it's there. Don't worry.
Can we do this?
I'm sorry.
Hello?
One sec.
Srinath?
One sec. I think